me see. He's now in 11th, and Hensley is now in 11th, back on the lead lap. We'll be back with more live coverage in just a moment from Pocono.
What's the hottest place on Earth? The Sahara? The Mojave? No, it's your home the day your cooling goes out.
I think we need help now.
Ruud is ready to solve your cooling problems with reliable Ruud products and straight answers. His job's not done until you're comfortable.
Ah, home sweet home.
You can rely on it.
Rely on Ruud.
Top-of-the-line parts, expert advice. That's your Big A Auto Parts store.
Big A, the sign that keeps your car running right.
Shape up with ESPN's midday workout. First at 11, Body by Jake gets your engine started with a workout and great health and fitness information. Keep on going at 11:30 with a well-rounded routine on getting fit with Denise Austin. You'll keep on moving at noon with aerobic exercise on Bodies in Motion. And then at 12:30, Body Shaping helps you tone up and slim down. It's better to look good and feel good on ESPN's midday workout.
Happening here at Pocono at the end of 119 laps. The yellow is out. Rusty Wallace blew as he came down the main straightaway here. Now there's fire seen at the rear of that car. Rusty Wallace bringing out the second caution of the day, and he's going to get the thing off the racetrack.
No, he's driving to a fire truck.
And trying to get it stopped as quickly as possible.
He's trying to find the fire truck. He said there must be one over here somewhere.
Well,
got it down as close as he could to the inside, out of the way there, but he couldn't find one. But you see one back there. Is that one in the right-hand corner? Now he gets out. He'll get his fire extinguisher out. No, I believe the fire has extinguished itself maybe when he got on the grass.
Rusty scrambles out, uninjured, checking over the damage. But it's all over for Rusty Wallace, who was running in the top 10. And this is what happened as he went into turn number 1.
Well, we can see that something has broken the oil pan, and the oil has come out on the exhaust system, and we can see the flames. And man, oh man.
Now Rusty has got the hood up, and he's trying to survey the situation.
Well, he's part owner of that race car, and he wants to check it out. And he knows the race car too. He knows what he's looking for, and what if he sees something out of the ordinary, he'll know what it is. But as he went down the front straightaway here, we saw a big puff of smoke come from the Miller Pontiac, and we knew it was all over, and then we saw the fire as he went into turn 1. Okay, the caution is out, the pits are open, and here they come.
Wholesale pit stops being made as Alan Kowicki and Allison and Irvin and Mast and Schrader, Gant, Darrell Waltrip all come down pit road for another stop.
I don't think Mast and Gant were supposed to come down this time, fellas. They're not in the lead lap.
That's right. Let's go to John Kernan.
Ernie Irvin is in for a 4-tire change. Now they will go ahead and change tires in the fuel, and then they will likely come back on pit road. They're waiting on a carburetor. Just a couple of laps ago, Ernie's car began to miss. Jerry?
And the Davey Allison crew, they are working very hard. Larry McReynolds has told them this is our chance to beat them in the pit. If we win the battle on pit road, we can lead a lap and pick up those very valuable 5 bonus points. And indeed, that's what just happened as Allison's car is leaving. Behind him is the car number 7 of Kowicki. Waltrip is leaving, the 11 car, Bill Elliott, the 22 car of Sterling Marlin. And Larry McReynolds' strategy here in the pits, guys, as best we're going to do, he said, we need a good pit stop right now. A good 4-car change will put us up front. We'll lead a lap and get 5 points. And guys, that's how you win a championship.
Well, it is. You look for a point everywhere you can, and he may have picked up 5 points for leading this coming lap. We are under caution, and that's the reason Rusty Wallace's car developing an engine problem. He's being pushed toward the garage area. Back with more in a moment.
You know, my grandmama told me if you eat the seed of a watermelon, the vines grow right out your ears. I don't thought that's true, no. But I tell you what is the truth. If you want a fine, comfortable Ford automobile or truck, there's no better place to buy one than Thompson Ford in Hampton. Wonder how long it take them vines to grow, huh?
Well, the word is out about our commitment to volume selling here at Copeland Toyota Volvo. And our goal is to sell every car and truck for at least $300 less than the competition for the same exact model. And we're actually seeing new customers from other market areas. An educator from Williamsburg 40 miles away, an executive from Gloucester 30 miles away, came all the way to Hampton to buy from Copeland Toyota Volvo. Unless your next car or truck is from Copeland, you could be paying $300 too much. Copeland Toyota Volvo on Mercury Boulevard here in Hampton.
Bruin on ESPN. Saturday Night Thunder. It's a night of lightning-quick action featuring live USAC midgets and sprints. Saturday Night Thunder on ESPN.
We are still under caution here at Pocono for the second time this afternoon. Rusty Wallace has an engine problem down in turn number 1. Our Speed World coverage of the Champion Sparkplug 500 at Pocono is being brought to you by Goodyear, #1 in tires. And by ESPN Home Video, producers and distributors of Richard Petty and STP, available at video and retail stores nationwide. John Kernan has a report from Ernie Irvin's pit.
This is Ernie's second time in. They changed tires last time out. This time they checked under the hood for the plug wires. The car had picked up a miss just a few laps ago. They're going to pit again and check the float levels on the carburetor. The problem is they think they got a bad carburetor, Jerry, but they may not have one to replace it. They may have left the one that they needed in California.
And John, we're standing by with one of the most versatile race drivers in all of America. No stranger to any of the fans watching, Dwayne Poncho Carter. And Poncho, your grand marshal today here for the Champion Sparkplug 500. If it has wheels, you've driven it. Stock cars, sprint cars, midgets. This little cast of a souvenir from Indianapolis this year.
Well, it certainly is. Had a little problem the last weekend of qualifying. I was running for Himmelgard Burn. The suspension broke, put us in the wall, and ended up with a broken arm, but nothing that won't heal.
Now, rumors are you're going to come stock car racing. You tested at Daytona a year or so ago, and you were among the fastest of all the cars that tested, and you hadn't even been in a stock car but a few laps.
Well, run a little bit anyway, but we had a program put together to do the whole 91 series, and it fell apart, and I really haven't given up that desire to do that. So with some good fortune, there's a good possibility might be able to get that resurrected for this year and maybe do some more.
Poncho Carter, the Grand Marshal here for the Champion Sparkplug 500, a spokesman for the Champion Highway team. We'll be back with more from Pocono International Raceway and the Champion 500 after this.
He's waiting about a car length and a half behind Al Jr. Al Jr. now lengthens it out. He's trying to hold him off. Goodyear low, Jr. high. They go to 4, Bob Lanning.
Alistair Jr. has the lead. One more turn to go. Here they come. Coming to the finish line. Bob Jenkins, who's going to win?
The checkered flag is out. Goodyear makes a move. Little Al wins by just a few tenths of a second. Perhaps the closest finish in the history of the Indianapolis 500.
Every summer weekend, millions of the smartest guys in America fire up their Murray mowers. What makes them so smart is that Murray's rated one of the best in quality and performance, with a 2-year warranty backed by 10,000 service dealers, at a price that's about half of other top quality mowers, which makes Murray mowers tough as they come, any way you cut it.
Folks in these parts think Tom Lawton is the best thing to ever turn a wrench. But back east, they'll put their money down on the guys at McClellan's. It seems in every town there's always one place that does a little bit better job fixing your car. And it seems the things they all have in common are great mechanics, great service, and Napa parts. Look for the sign of quality car repair. Napa.
Around the world, around the year, with over 1 million miles of award-winning auto racing coverage. ESPN Speed World today in Pocono, Pennsylvania for the NASCAR Winston Cup Champion Sparkplug 500. And we are about to go back to green from our one more lap to go. Here are the top 10 after 123 laps. Davey Allison is your leader, followed by Alan Kowicki, then Schrader, Waltrip, and Elliott. In the second 5, it's Jarrett, Marlin, Petty, Hensley, and Labonte. While we're under caution, we'll take another break.
You say your eyes are red, irritated, dry? Don't hide them. Help them with Clear Eyes. It gets rid of the redness and has an extra moisturizing ingredient, too. Clear Eyes. And for allergies and colds, Clear Eyes ACR.
Racing. I can't explain it. You're kind of in a limbo zone. Time's different. Speed's different. Everything works different. It sounds totally cosmic. It's out there somewhere.
Kyle Petty and Mellow Yellow. There's nothing mellow about them.
If only your tires could talk.
It's so tiring. He babies the car, then abuses me with messy vinyl cleaner. Hey, I'm rubber. No-touch tire care. Ooh, nice foam.
No-touch tire care. The first product to clean, shine, and protect tires in one easy step. No scrubbing, no dirty rags, no mess.
Yeah, clean and shiny. Oh, no. Bad doggy. Go away.
Treat your tires right with no-touch tire care.
The time has come for the cordless power roller from Wagner. It's so quick and easy, it can cut painting time in half. So get your hands on a real value, because the value of Wagner keeps on rolling.
Bob Jenkins, Ned Jarrett, Benny Parsons, John Kernan, and Dr. Jerry Punch back at Pocono International Raceway, getting set for a restart of the Champion Spark Plug 500. Now, as they come down, Davey Allison is the leader, but lined up right beside him, still trying to get the lap back, is Mark Martin.
This might be his best opportunity to do that, but Davey gets him on the takeoff. Mark just couldn't quite go. Now he's back up to speed, down on the inside. Brett Bodine gave him a little bit of a push. Let's see if he can get into turn one first. This might be his best opportunity.
Yep.
Yes, he does.
Yep, Mark Martin is at the moment back on the lead lap.
He needs a caution here, Rod, quick, because he knows Alan Kowicki is back there, and Alan has been so strong.
And we saw the 4-car Ernie Irvin back at the very tail end of the pack on this restart.
He was in the pits a couple of times, working on whatever the problem was, trying to find that miss. Harry Gant also was in for a long time, had the hit up on his car. They pushed Strickland's car into the garage area. He's out of the race.
That 4-car is not running, is it, John?
Well, they've got a very serious miss in it, Benny. They checked the carburetor. They determined that is not the problem. Tony Glover, the crew chief, says that he feels that they've broken something in the valve frame, possibly a valve spring. They've told Ernie to just go out there, ride around on 7 cylinders, and do the best that he can do.
He's in 11th position right now, so Ernie Irvin is struggling with that car at the moment. As they come down, Mark Martin still leads them across the line. There's King Richard Petty as we go back up front. The leader of the race again is Davey Allison, who is third in line, and now Brett Bodine is back on the lead lap.
4 Fords that you're seeing, and a Chevrolet is the 5th car. That's Greg Sachs behind those 4 Fords in the Kellogg's Cornflake Chevrolet.
Now Alan Kowicki begins to challenge Davey for the lead. Down in the tunnel turn.
Dale Earnhardt, he's had all kinds of problems.
It's been a good run today for Jimmy Hensley as we go back in with his Phillips 66 in-car camera. Now, we documented a while ago that for a while NASCAR had him a lap down. However, he has been given the lap back, and now Jimmy Hensley finds himself in 10th position.
Well, that was just during the period of time when he made that pit stop, Bob. Right. They just had the scoring hadn't caught up to him at that time.
And Jerry Punch has a comment on pit road.
You know, Jimmy Hensley has impressed a lot of people since he took over that ride there for Cale Yarborough. You know, interesting fact is a lot of the other car owners in Winston Cup racing have been impressed as well. In fact, a lot of them already talking about maybe Jimmy Hensley as a candidate for their ride next year. That's a pretty good team. So even though Jimmy doesn't really have a significant commitment, he wants to be very loyal to Cale Yarborough, he told me, but his options are still pretty open, and apparently he's impressed a lot of people, and again doing it today.
Indeed, he just passed Jeff Bodine. Now, he and Jeff are not on the same lap. Jeff is back in 18th position.
Now, we mentioned that they only changed 2 tires on Hensley's car when he made the green flag pit stop. Of course, once the caution came out, came back in, he was able to get 4 tires, so he's back even with everybody else in that respect now.
And the telemetry will show that he'll reach over 190 miles an hour down the front stretch.
Can you imagine hitting the brakes and making a left-hand turn at 109 miles an hour? What did he get down to, 140 or something in the middle of this corner?
What do you mean, can I imagine? You used to do it and think nothing of it.
I know.
He didn't know he was going that fast.
Well, I had no speedometer like that in my car, and if Hensley had a speedometer in his car, he wouldn't do it either.
Looking back, Terry Labonte and Jeff Bodine behind.
There's Dick Trickle on the inside, looked like the Snickers car.
Bobby Hamilton up there in that bright country time car.
Looked like Trickle or whoever that was having some kind of problem. Looked like he was slow. Yes, that is Trickle, and he is very slow across the tunnel corner.
Trickle's currently being shown in 19th position, one lap behind the leaders. The Snickers Ford.
There's Jimmy Hensley.
Yep.
Out of Ridgeway or Horse Pasture or one of those suburbs of Martinsville.
Horse Pasture.
Suburb of Martinsville.
And there's Mark still up there. Brett Bodine staying up in front of Davey Allison.
Here's another Napa Field summary for you. Davey Allison is the leader. He has led 10 of 13 races so far this year.
Those 10 cars are in the lead lap.
Average speed that last lap, 158.45. You know, Ned, that's what they used to qualify a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it hasn't been long since that would have been the record, really. And that's an impressive run this far into the race. Kowicki's car seems like it takes a little while to get it to going after he puts new tires on it. Now, maybe this set of tires, or maybe Davey Allison just running faster, but he hasn't been able to catch Mark Martin or Brett Bodine there. And Kowicki sitting right there on his bumper. And, of course, Martin and Brett Bodine, they and their crews praying for a caution.
Yeah, so they really need. There, Rusty Wallace is coming back on the racetrack.
Wow, must have broken an oil line or something.
He must have broken an oil line off. Looked like he broke something in the engine and knocked a hole in the oil pan. But there he goes.
Yep, he goes back into the race in 27th position. He completed 120 laps, so he is 9 behind as he rejoins the action.
Once he found everything, he stripped off himself over there when that car caught on fire. Like earplugs and seat belts, gloves.
Let's go to Jerry Punch, who has more on this story.
Well, a couple of things. You guys were exactly right on Rusty Wallace. An oil line came loose, and they did not cook the engine. They just took it back to the garage area, filled it up with oil, and hooked it on the lineup, and he's back in the racetrack. But you're also correcting your guess on the problems with the Snickers Ford of Dick Trickle. I just talked to team manager and engine builder Kenny Wilson a minute ago, and he confirmed that they are now on just 7 cylinders.
Bobby Gerhardt has taken his car into the garage area out of the race.
So that's another position Earnhardt can pick up.
Yeah, Dale is still 32nd at the moment, but he's still out there.
Gerhardt was being shown in the 30th position.
Trickle making his way very slowly down the straightaway. Well, not very slowly, but slowly compared to everybody else.
By the national speed limit, he's going fast, but by everyone else, he's going awfully slow. Yes.
Exactly. 131 laps have been completed out of 200. Davey Allison is leading Alan Kowicki at Pocono International Raceway. Back with more after this.
Some people refuse to settle for less, so they buy at Subtle. The right price, the best selection. Subtle's award-winning service. You don't have to settle for less.
It's Subtle for Saab. Today I bought my 10th Cadillac from Subtle Motor Company.
For my cars and service, I come to Subtle.
Word-of-mouth advertising, the most powerful in the world. Subtle, because you don't have to settle for less.
It's summertime, 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 Applebee's, summertime, 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 summer fair, Applebee's, summer fair, summertime.
This summer, the best way to stay cool is at Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Bar. With cool summer salads like Garden Cobb, a trio of Caesars, or light, luscious Key West shrimp salad. Summer fair at Applebee's. This summer, it's the coolest place to be.
America's favorite neighbor, Applebee's.
Clash for the heavyweight championship. All this week, ESPN SportsCenter brings you daily updates, round-by-round fight analysis, and post-fight interviews. All week on ESPN SportsCenter.
Back at Pocono, and there is something wrong with Alan Kulwicki's car. Waltrip has passed him. Here comes Schrader to pass him, and Bill Elliott will soon. John Kernan, what might be the problem with Alan?
Bob, I just talked to Paul Andrews, the crew chief, and he says, the car's just a little tight right now, so he's just kind of dropping back to take it easy. Remember, we had documented earlier that Alan's car was set up to be just a little bit tight on new tires and a full load of fuel. So right now, they're not concerned about anything, but it does look like he has slowed down quite a bit.
Man.
Yeah, he's slowed down more than just, I don't know. He might still be okay, but it just doesn't seem to have a
crash up in turn 3.
No speed on the straightaway.
Dale Jarrett crashes in turn number 3.
And the 7 car had a huge tire mark on the side of his car where he and the 25 car to get together.
And Mark Martin and Brett Bodine both get their laps back.
They've got to race back to the line, and Dale Jarrett's still sitting there.
He's sitting a little bit outside the groove that they normally use coming off there. Of course, the spotters will tell him where he is.
And the 18 car has now moved down into the grass safely off the racetrack.
Good.
As the leaders come off of the second corner, they're now approaching turn number 3, and Martin and Bodine are still ahead of Davey Allison. They'll be coming in. There they are, right there. There they come down. And yes, it's official now. Martin and Brett Bodine both back on the lead lap. They get to make up 2.5 miles. It's only our 3rd caution of the day. It's been a very safe race so far here at Pocono, and Dale Jarrett has been really the only driver to make serious contact with the concrete. His car sits down in turn number 3 on the grass. 1:35 completed, so we'll see probably some pit stops made here under caution.
Oh, yes.
And Davey Allison, the pace car, is going to pull out just after he comes off his tunnel corner and pick him up. Greg Sachs did not get his lap back. The yellow car directly behind Davey. We'll just be seeing the pace car in just a second pull out.
Actually, it's a pace truck. There it is. But
the thing with the lights going around.
Exactly.
GMC. Yeah, they'll make pit stops, Bob, because they were in a position that it was going to be awfully close for them to make it on one more pit stop, but now they can make it on one more pit stop after this one.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, that 7 car has a huge dent in the right front, in the right door of his car, and a big tire mark. So he and Schrader made some pretty serious contact up in the corner.
But Kulwicki's car just didn't seem to be running as fast down the straightaway. I don't know.
Let's go down to Jerry Punch as they come down for pit stops.
And Davey Allison getting ready to have his car serviced here, the Texaco Haviland crew. They wanted to try to keep the 26 car and the 6 car a lap down, but Davey just didn't quite have enough muster to keep him back there, so they got their lap back. And now he will have to contend with those cars when we go back to green. 28 on the top of your screen, 17. The defending champion of this race, Darrell Waltrip, in the Western Auto Chevrolet on the bottom. Right side on the car, number 28. It will come around now to the left side. And left side tires going on by Jeff Hammond and the crew there of the Darrell Waltrip machine. 4 at the top of your screen. Chevrolet on the bottom. Waltrip is down and away, and now Davey Allison is down and away. And apparently Darrell Waltrip's car stalled. They're pushing him, pushing, trying to get the car started. And finally Darrell Waltrip able to pull away, but the car stalling and got it refired, but it cost him at least about 6 extra seconds here in the pits. Let's go to John Kernan.
Jerry, what it sounded like what happened is Darrell may have lost a gear or something. In fact, that's what we're hearing right now as the crew comes back across the pit wall. When they dropped the jack, he popped the clutch, and it just sounded like it was spinning, that it didn't want to go. The tires were not spinning, but something was. So we're going to have to check with Jeff Hammond and see. That might be a serious problem for Darrell Waltrip.
Well, he didn't lose much, maybe a couple of positions on pit road, but it could mean trouble later on down the line. You can see John checking with Jeff. We'll have a report as to what might have happened with Darrell in a moment.
Today, performance cars come in a variety of designs, sizes, and even prices. So do Goodyear Eagles, the world's most successful line of performance tires. There are all-season Goodyear Eagles, new ultra-performance Goodyear Eagles. There are Goodyear Eagles for the classic and for the contemporary. No matter what performance car you own, there's a Goodyear Eagle priced for you. It's another reason we say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
When Darrell Waltrip needs a part, he needs the right part, and he needs it fast. And when you need parts, see the parts team at Western Auto. We've got top name brands and thousands of parts in stock. Right, guys?
Right, DW.
And we've got the right price, backed by our low price guarantee, right?
Right, DW. And while you're at Western Auto, pick up AC spark plugs for just 99 cents each. AC spark plugs is like buying time.
That's why I take our trucks to Western Auto, right, Jeff?
Wrong, Daryl.
Jeff takes your trucks to Western Auto.
June is going to be one hot month on ESPN. June heats up on ESPN.
You know, I've messed up on a few relationships in my life, but there's one that's lasted over 35 years with a lot of help from Quaker State. It's tough on wear, tough on sludge. So Quaker State and I are planning on a meaningful relationship with my new car. So why don't you do the same with your new car's engine, and Quaker State will guarantee it for 250,000 miles or 10 years in writing. You think if I gave Lonnie the Quaker State deal, she'd give me the same guarantee? Quaker State is one tough motor oil.
Track facts are brought to you by Quaker State. The big Q is one tough motor oil.
If you were to take a look at a bare chassis, you might realize that car construction has lost some of its twist in 1992. Now, this is a Chevrolet Lumina that will be driven by Ricky Rudd. In years past, the firewall would be simply a thin piece of sheet metal. But this year's car has all these added support bars here, adding some torsional stability to this vital section of the car. Why add these bars? Well, two reasons. One, if the car is struck from the side, here in the front tire, or just behind the front tire in years past, the sheet metal here would collapse, and therefore the front of the car would sort of accordion in. Now, with the stability, it provides more safety for the driver's compartment. And also, with this added stability up front, a minor change, a very minute adjustment, possibly in a shock or spring or wedge, will have a significant change in the chassis and handling of the car. Thereby, a small change here by these pipes adds 2 extra incentives for a driver in 1992.
Well, Dale Jarrett has some at least sheet metal work to do as he has hit the wall over in turn number 3. He was able to drive the Interstate Batteries car back into the garage area. Now we're with Jimmy Hensley, and watch up in front as Dale gets a little loose. Sideways, there you can see it, and backing into the outside concrete as Jimmy gives the hand signal to slow down, troubles ahead. Well, Benny, you mentioned there was a big tire mark on the right side of Alan Kulwicki's car, and this is how that happened.
It had to come off the left rear of the 25 car, or maybe it's to the left front. They go in this third corner, the flat corner, side by side, but Kulwicki's car just went straight up the hill. Watch, it just goes right up the hill, right against the 25 car. And he's going to push Schrader completely out in the loose stuff. See, Schrader goes way up there. And when the 7 car comes off, and there Bill Elliott goes by, when the 7 car comes down the straightaway, he has a huge donut on the right door.
Well, let us not forget about Mark Martin, who now has been able to get back on the lead lap and come around 2.5 miles to join those that are also on the lead lap. Mark Martin ran so well in the early part of the race before a problem on pit road dropped him a lap down, but look out for him when the green flag drops.
Oh,
look at this.
Yeah, Earnhardt and
Derek
Cope getting together there. That could have done a little bit of sheet metal damage on Derek's car, or maybe both of their cars. Yeah, you can see it.
Well,
right side of Earnhardt's car, he had some damage.
See that Schrader is now the leader of the race. Davey Allison second and Alan Kulwicki third. Green flag.
Bill Elliott running in 4th position. Kyle Petty is 5th. The 41 car, Greg Sachs, has been very fast all day, and now he also is trying to get that lap back. 12 are on the lead lap at the moment. Sachs tries to put himself back and does.
Earnhardt down there racing. Of course, he's a lot of laps down, but if he can get one back, that might make a difference. Here comes Davey Allison down on the inside. We saw him pass Ken Schrader this way earlier. How's it going to shake out when you get to turn 2? Davey Allison will have the lead.
We talk about using every inch of racetrack.
Ooh. Earnhardt had to back out of the gas and hit the brakes hard because Schrader came down the hill. He didn't want to hit him in the left rear. Davey Allison does have the lead. You're right, Ned.
Well, Alan Kowicki's car seems to be okay now. There he is in the 3rd position. I thought that he didn't have straightaway speed, but it's just because he wasn't getting off the corners too good right there for a little bit. I guess it seems to be okay now.
Pole sitter Ken Schrader runs in 2nd position, still eligible for $53,200 in Unocal bonus money. Back in the pack, some passing going on. You saw Sterling Marlin there briefly. He's in 6th position. Now more inside, Derek Cope. He is a lap down in 14th, and just ahead of him is Sterling.
Sterling's in 6th place, the Maxwell F4 Thunderbird. And we see the tachometer up to 8,000, about 8,000 RPMs across the tunnel corner.
Here's Davey Allison now trying to move on the inside. Greg Sachs to put him a lap down.
Yep, isn't going to be able to do it.
Nope, he had to back off, and here comes Schrader back up there.
Sachs is trying desperately to stay in front of the 20 car so he can get a lap back in case the caution flag should come out. Sachs, Allison.
There's Mark Martin there on the inside, looking inside of Derek Cope. The interval at this point from 1st back to 10th is just a little over a second. And here's Mark Martin once again moving to the inside of Derek Cope.
Takes that spot away. There's Schrader looking on the outside of Davey Allison. He's not going to try that, believe me. Now Davey gets a real good run off this corner. And we see Sachs trying to block that spot. Now Davey's going to go on the outside. Can he make it stick? We said that you've got to run on the bottom of the racetrack. Can he get by the 41 on the outside?
Well, that's a gutsy move to move out there on the outside. Sachs staying down as low as he possibly can, though, giving him running room out there. But that is a hard way to pass.
Now as they come down the straightaway, I believe that Davey is going to put Greg Sachs a lap down once again, and Ken Schrader will try to stay with Davey, and so will Kowicki and Kyle Petty.
Now Kowicki's going to fall back and run on the inside of the preferred line through that corner and try to pass Sachs down the back straightaway. And Kyle Petty, look at him up in 4th spot right behind Kowicki.
Bill for Kyle and Bill.
How much money did you say he could pick up today? What's the
$53,200.
The 25 car Kenny Schrader would pick up if he should win the race. Now he's the only guy eligible to win this money.
Unocal bonus.
Kowicki here, he's going to try to get by the 41 car. He crashes up on him. There's Kyle Petty. Those guys pulled away from Petty 2 or 3 car lengths down the straightaway.
Bill Jarrett coming back out, many laps down.
Petty hasn't won a race in 1992. His last victory was in March of '91 in Rockingham.
And Rick Mast going into the garage area.
Yep. Mast was 21st. He was 2 laps down and now pulls the car behind the wall and heads for the garage area. And we understand it's an engine problem for Rick Mast.
Yeah, during the last caution, they had the hood up on the Stoll Classic Oldsmobile, and Richard Jackson and the crew looking it over, but apparently she finally let go.
Jerry Punch has a comment on Ken Schrader.
Guys, remember at the top of the show we mentioned that Kenny Schrader is just 9 days away from going on the operating room table to have a herniated disc removed from between his 5th and 6th cervical vertebrae. Now he is almost daily in constant pain. I talked to him before the race this morning and he was very, very uncomfortable. And of course, you know, you can't take any medication. You don't want to climb in a race car. He said, but right now, the crew said he has not complained the first time all day long. Of course, Kenny never complains. He never says a word, but that left arm has got to be bothering him quite a bit. He can't wait to get it operated on by Dr. Jerry Petty. following Tuesday after Michigan and Charlotte. But with the car handling as well as it is, he said he would never complain with this car running the way it is. But a tough guy and certainly an aggressive driver wanting to get a victory before he goes into surgery just 9 days away.
And here's another tough guy, Ernie Irvin, and there in the back end of that car, Ernie was in 12th position when he came in.
Adding oil, looked like, Benny. Was that oil? Like 4 or 5 quarts that they put in there. John Kernan?
That's exactly right. They put in probably, I think, about 5-6 quarts of oil. That's where the oil tank is located in the left rear of the car. And they'd had to put in about 5 or 6 quarts. Ernie recalled when he had that miss, they thought it was a valve train problem, possibly a broken valve spring. He's now got somewhat of an oil leak, so the oil is leaking out. They've had to come in and replace it.
So Ernie Irvin takes the Kodak Film Chevrolet back onto the 2.5-mile track they call Pocono International.
Meanwhile, Mark Martin has worked his way up to the 6th spot. I realize he's not on the screen right now, but let's see. Can't keep loose track of this Mark Martin because he might be a contender before this baby's over.
Right now, the contenders are Davey Allison and Ken Schrader, first and second. Ford against Chevrolet here.
Now, for you fans that might have tuned in late and would wonder why we're talking about Mark Martin, well, he lost a lap on a miscue in the pits when apparently one of the air wrenches malfunctioned, and he got a lap down and has been trying for a couple hundred miles to get back in the lead lap. He finally did, and is in contention.
Third place car, the yellow car, Greg Sachs, is a lap down. There's Trickle. He's smoking badly.
Yeah, a little smoke coming from that car. He's 19th, Dick Trickle is.
He forgot to take the wrapper off before he ate that snippers.
It's a little warm, looks like. Maybe melting. They're going to black flag Trickle as he comes down. Well, he backs out of the gas as soon as they do. There is the leader, Davey Allison in the Haviland Ford, as he looks for another victory in 1992. We'll be back with more after this from Pocono International.
Hi. You know why Quaker State asked me to be their spokesman? Because I'm tough. Quaker State is tough. Tough on wear and tough on sludge. If you use Quaker State in your new car's engine, they'll guarantee it for 250,000 miles or 10 years in writing. Quaker State is one tough motor oil. So naturally they asked me because I'm tough. You don't think it's because they think I'm oily?
The Wilsons tried almost everything to make their house more attractive to buyers, but it just didn't sell. Until they called our ERA office. I told them about the ERA home warranty plan that would help their house sell faster by giving the buyer peace of mind. It helped make their house the most appealing buy on the block. The ERA home warranty plans, just the kind of help you'd expect from a friend. It doesn't take long to sell a house if you call the right people. Just call 1-800-ERA-SOLD. ERA, first in service.
Fresh, pure, and natural. The only beer with the genuine taste of the king of beers, Budweiser.
The champion spark plug 500 standings after 148 of 200 laps. Davey Allison, Kulwicki, Schrader, Petty, and Elliott. 6 through 10, Marlin, Martin, Hensley, Waltrip, and Bodine. The leaders come down the straightaway. There's Davey.
But new second place car. Alan Kulwicki has gotten by Schrader. He is now in second place. Kenny Schrader back in third.
There's that donut that you mentioned on the side of Kulwicki's car after an earlier skirmish with Schrader, but when he passed him this time, everything was clean. There is Darrell Waltrip in car number 17. He is 9th, and Brett Bodine is 10th in the Quaker State Ford.
Both these guys in the lead lap. Remember just what, a few laps ago, the last caution flag, Brett Bodine and Mark Martin got their lap back.
The track record just a little off record pace right now because of that third caution period caused by Dale Jarrett.
We'll take care of that, no problem.
Yep.
Without any more caution flags, we will set a new record today.
Race is going very quickly. We've only got 51 more laps to go, and it's only 20 minutes after 3 Eastern time. Allison continues to circle the racetrack with no problems, looking for win number 4 in the 1992 season. He won Daytona, of course, won at North Wilkesboro and at Talladega.
Here's a good battle for 4th place as Sterling Marlin got on the inside of Kyle Petty there and took it away. Mark Martin went by as well. So Marlin moves into 4th. The 6th car of Martin moves up, I should say 5th place. That's what 5th, 6th, and 7th we're looking at there. Bill Elliott's in 5th place.
Marlin, Martin, and Petty.
Maybe that's the reason I was having problems picking it up. I know who those guys are. Couldn't say it.
It's amazing how you know who these guys are, and sometimes it just can't flow out of your mouth.
Davey Allison back, the leader. Ricky second. And there's some interested fans. That's quite a shot, wasn't it? That shows you what 170 mile an hour will do.
Mark Martin has led 41 laps, Alan Kulwicki 30, and Davey Allison has now led 27. So there is somewhat of a battle for those 5 bonus points for leading the most laps here this afternoon.
Place car, there's 5th, his teammate. Both these cars out of Junior Johnson stable up in North Wilkesboro.
And both have been quietly in the top 10 all afternoon. First and second, Allison Kulwicki.
Then we're going to pan the camera back and just try to show you the relationship between these 2 cars. And 3rd place, there's Schrader. Now let's go back to 4th. Elliott and Marlin and Martin.
You can't say it either.
Now you've got them.
I got them names messed up. You can't say it.
Well, those guys need to make a pit stop so we can talk about them.
It's spread out a little bit.
Yeah.
Elliott won both races in '85, won in '88, won in '89. Sterling Marlin still has never won a NASCAR Winston Cup race.
It really is unbelievable.
It really is.
Going so well. Max last car, that's Sterling. There's Mark Martin.
Mark Martin.
Mark in 6th place in the car number 6. Here's the 7th place car of Kyle Petty. And that will yellow Pontiac.
Next will be Dale Earnhardt. And let's see where he's now moved up 3 positions since he rejoined the race. He came back in 33rd and now is in 30th position. About what? 27 laps behind?
That's pretty close.
Okay.
But he's 7 laps behind the 21 car of Morgan Shepherd. The outside pole sitter was right behind him.
There's Hensley in the 66. Good run. 8th position right now. He's carrying our Phillips 66 in-car camera.
Right behind Jimmy Hensley. Darrell Waltrip running 9th. The 10th place car, Brett Bodine, the Quaker State Ford. Mr. Western Auto Show. There's a Pure Later Chevrolet, Derek Cope. In-car camera looking right at the back of Brett Bodine's car.
He's in 13th, a lap down. There's the 15 car of Jeff Bodine. He's 14th. And Rusty Wallace, who had a big fire at the back end of the car a few laps ago, pulled it off over in the 2nd turn, has now made his way back out onto the racetrack and is in 27th position. Wally Donovac Jr. is behind Rusty Wallace, and he's having a pretty good show, Ned. 15th.
Yeah, a lap behind in 15th place. He's having a good run.
Richard Petty, the STP Pontiac, behind Dallenbach.
He's in 16th position.
And Michael Waltrip.
And that's all 4 position, fellas. They're all 1 lap behind the leader.
Now here's Terry Labonte. He is 11th right now, still in the lead lap. The last car, as a matter of fact, on the lead lap. but he has had a very, very consistent season.
And a consistent day here today. He hasn't been up there in the top 10 fighting around too much, but he's been out there and stayed on the lead lap.
Bobby Hamilton in the 68 car, the Country Time Oldsmobile, going by Jerry O'Neill in the Wheels Chevrolet. O'Neill is 23rd in the 68 car of Hamilton. Where was he running, Bob?
19th.
19th.
Yep. And then there was a bunch of racetrack that nothing's happening in before we get back to Harry Gant, and he's 21st.
Yeah, Harry not having a good day today. He's something wrong with the engine. There's James Hilton. James is back in 28th position right now.
There is Dale Jarrett, who crashed but is back out on the racetrack. Ernie Irvin is 18th, a lap down.
Jarrett is currently in the 25th position.
71 car, Dave Marcus is the 20th spot. And see a lot of smoke coming out of that 4 car. And Mike Potter has the only Buick in the field. He's the only car I think we haven't seen.
You know, somebody told me the other day that the Buicks don't show up on the Manufacturers Championship points this year. So apparently there's not been, this is the first Buick we've seen this year.
Yeah, could be. Yep, could be.
There's Mike Potter out of Johnson City or Kingsport, somewhere in the Tri-Cities area of Tennessee.
Down around Bristol International, which is being concreted, guys. What do you think about that?
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it is.
It's really going to be. And, you know, Martinsville may put concrete in the corners. As I understand it, Bristol is going to concrete the entire racetrack.
That's right. That's right. That's what I understand. Larry Carrier was just disappointed that the pavement that he's put down in the past few years is not held, so he's going to concrete it. There are the leaders once again, or the leader, Davey Allison, closely pursued by Alan Kowicki. 156 laps are completed out of 200 here at Pocono.
For age-old problems like these, Goodyear introduces a brand new solution like this. Goodyear Wrangler GSA. Goodyear Wrangler GSA has a unique triple tread zone that gives you breakthrough, all-service, all-season traction. Mile after mile, year after year. So if you own one of these, you need these. Goodyear Wrangler GSA. Then you'll know why we say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
My wife sent me to Payless for some shoes. I didn't even know Payless had men's shoes. Well, right away I like the place. It's because there's no salespeople breathing down your neck. And they got all the shoes out. So you don't have to keep saying, you got this in a 10? Have you got this in a 10? For once, I get a pair of shoes I like with no hassle. You ought to call it painless.
Right now at Payless, these men's shoes are on sale starting at $12.99. 2 pair just $24. For shoe shopping that's painless, who'd have guessed? Payless.
Gillette presents Sensor, the system, the technology that will change the way you shave forever. Sensor, twin blades set on springs to read your face and respond. Independent suspension to sense and adjust to every curve of your face. No other razor comes close. Gillette Sensor, for the best shave a man can get.
It's the Budweiser Pit Stop with Bill Elliott.
They call it Tire Wars, and many time races are won or lost on pit road. Hi, I'm Bill Elliott. It's been said before, and it's worth repeating. A driver's only as good as his team. The Budweiser NASCAR team is one of the best. The team really shines during a 4-tire pit stop. It usually takes less than 20 seconds to change all 4 tires and pump around 22 gallons of gas. And often those seconds are the difference between winning and losing.
We have a new leader in the Champion Spark Plug 500 as Alan Kowicki was able to get by Davey Allison a couple of laps ago.
He closed up on the tunnel corner, but then he came through the flat corner, through turn 3, got underneath Davey just as he exited the corner. It was a race down the front straightaway, and the 7 car won the race.
So that's how Allen got the lead, and now let's take a look at the top 5 in NASCAR Winston Cup points and where they are running. Davey is now second. Earnhardt moving back up from the very early part of the race. Bill Elliott is 4th. Harry Gant is 21st, and Alan Kowicki is in 1st position, or is he? Nope. At the moment, Davey Allison has gotten back by Alan Kowicki. They are side by side as they come off of turn number 3.
Another race down the front straightaway. Let's see who's going to win.
Well, I tell you, that's a little bit of a surprise. I thought Kawicki would pull away once he got around Davey, but Davey's showing some strength here once again.
So did I.
He's not going to be able to pass him, though.
But I thought Davis' car had lost a handle a little bit because he has a little bit of trouble, and I said, well, he's got some problems, and here he comes back and try to take the lead back.
We have a couple of Fords running up front. The last time a Ford won here at Pocono was in July of 1990 when Jeff Bodine drove the victory. Here's Hensley leading Darrell Waltrip and Brett Bodine and others. At least the first three there are for position, 8th, 9th, and 10th.
This might be the best run that Cale Yarborough Motorsports has had this year, Ned.
Having a very good run, no question about it. Since Hensley got in that car, they've had a number of good runs. I think he's been good for the Trump Arctic team. He and Bob Johnson seem to work well together. And it's been known by most race fans that have seen Jimmy Hensley drive that he is a very good race driver. He just needed an opportunity. He did finish 8th at Dover a few weeks ago.
Looking back at the Western Auto Chevrolet, once again, the telemetry, 8,400 RPMs, 193 miles per hour on the brakes. Get the thing slowed down. Let's see, 142, 135, 32, 132 miles per hour. That's the slowest in the turn one area. Now he's accelerating once again up the back straightaway, the long pond straightaway, if you will. 182, 5, 187. So again, 5 miles an hour. Wasn't he 192 down the front? 5 miles per hour slower down the back than the front.
And behind him, it's Darrell Waltrip, 9th position, and then Brett Bodine in 10th.
There's Jeff Bodine a lap down. And for the Ernie Irvin fans, he made a pit stop a little while ago, but he's running very, very slow out there. I mean, slower than these guys are running. He's not so slow. Here's the leaders.
Now, this is what we thought was going to happen, that Kawicki was going to pull away from David. Just looked that way.
Jerry, what's going on down there?
Robert Yates, the car owner, told me a minute ago that Davey told him on the radio that when Allen shifts in the third gear, that he just pulls away from him. That once they both get back in fourth gear, that Davey can run pretty much even with him. But once Allen shifts, he just pulls him, and he just can't stay with him.
So what does that tell you, Ned? That next time everyone will have a transmission where you shift.
Yeah.
One of the car owners down in NASCAR, he had a transmission that the driver shifted. He said, no, there will not be a car that shifts win this race today.
Yep.
So we'll see if Kawicki can hang on, because he, in fact, is shifting gears.
Allen continues to lead laps, and he is now within 6 of becoming the driver that has led the most laps. Mark Martin still has that distinction, having led 41 circuits around this racetrack, but Allen has now led 36.
Ernie Irvin back in the pits again in the Kodak Film Chevrolet with the hood up.
We're a little bit more than 30 laps away from the checkered flag in the Champion Spark Plug 500. We'll be right back.
Dear Wendy, summer vacation, week 2. I'm having a great time taking a lot of photos. I went to Dolphin World with some new friends. Afterwards, everyone was hungry. Luckily, there was a Wendy's nearby. We had Junior Bacon cheeseburgers, Biggie fries, Frosties, and Biggie drinks. I treated, because everything on the Super Value menu is just 99 cents each. And Miss Smarty, I finally broke 100. Love, Dad.
Hey, mister, that's my ball.
Oh, sorry.
Wendy's Super Value Menu, the best place to spend your summer.
Alex Furlong is about to die and enter the year 2009.
Alex, don't you remember me?
Now he's a free jack.
Someone paid to bring him back.
With a body that's priceless.
$15 million to anyone who can bring you in.
In a world that's ruthless.
I watched you die.
Emilio Estevez, Mick Jagger, Rene Russo, and Anthony Hopkins.
Welcome to my mind.
Free Jack, rated R.
Own the best of Sports Center on home video, featuring superstars, amazing plays, wacky bloopers. Now on home video.
Our Our congratulations to Lynn Storm of Schofield, Wisconsin, today's winner of beautiful Chevrolet Lumina in the Gillette Halfway Challenge contest. She correctly named Alan Kowicki as the leader at the halfway lap. If you want to enter the contest in next week's Miller Genuine Draft 400 at Michigan on June 21st, write to Gillette Halfway Challenge, Post Office Box 2246, St. Petersburg, Florida, 33731. 2246. You must be 18 years of age or older to enter, and you must receive your entry by Saturday, June 20th to be eligible for next week's Gillette Halfway Challenge and the Miller Genuine Draft 400 at Michigan International Speedway.
Davey Allison.
About a 2.5-second lead now for Kowicki over Allison. And John Kernan has more on Alan Kowicki.
Bob, I just talked to Paul Andrews, the crew chief. He said what Alan has on his mind right now is trying to stretch out the lead and pit in about 6 laps. He thinks that this race is going to come down to what happens right here in the pits under the green flag. Alan wants to give himself a little extra added pad for his crew down here in the pits. And Darrell Waltrip now has finally gotten around Jimmy Hensley.
Yes, Waltrip has moved into 8th position, and Mark Martin is on pit road.
A little bit earlier than we thought they might come in, but he should be able to go the rest of the way from here, Bob. So the Valvoline Ford getting a set of right side tires, and of course I'm sure they'll change the left side tires, and you can see him getting a windshield cleaned as well. Dale Jarrett right behind him there.
I would guess that the car was not handling the way that Mark Martin wanted it, so they wanted to stop as soon as they could get in the window. They could finish the rest of the way, make a chassis adjustment, and change 4 tires.
Yep, 20 3/10 seconds. Great pit stop for the Valvoline team.
Pulling out just ahead of Dale Jarrett.
He did stay in the same lap. Alan Kowicki just went by, so
don't count him out of a possible win here at Pocono. Well, we will have the pit stops by Kowicki and Davey Allison and others. Here comes Sterling Marlin, the 6th place car, in for a stop.
And Brett Bodine, the 10th place car, coming in as well.
Again, I think these are cars that was not happy with their chassis. They're coming in, making an adjustment, and changing 4 tires while they're in there.
I agree with you, Vinny. And as we've said before, those new tires will let them run about a second a lap faster, so they will be able to pick up some time out there on the racetrack once they get back out there.
There's Brett Bodine's Quaker State Ford, pitted just ahead of the Maxwell House Ford, driven by Sterling Marlin. Marlin's work is completed. He's rolling. Chassis adjustment being made on there of the Brett Bodine car. And he now is down off the jacks.
22 6/10 seconds for the Sterling Marlin car.
And the 2nd place machine of Davey Allison now comes in. Jerry punches there.
What should be the final pit stop of the day. Remember how well this crew performed just the last pit stop to get Davey back out up front so he can lead a lap. Now this pit stop critical to give him a chance to win the race. 1 can of fuel going in. They will change all 4 tires. Remember, we've seen a lot of miscues in the pits, a lot of failed equipment. And left side tires now going on. And the car fell off the jack. Davey Allison's car has fallen. They cannot get the car picked up. Oh, another problem in the pits. Kowicki is in turn 3, and they are trying to pry the Haviland Ford up to get the jack beneath the car. What a misfortune here for Davey Allison. He puts his left hand up in front of his goggles. He cannot believe. And now we got to wonder if Kowicki will stay out. Kowicki has been radioed and told to stay out. Allison peels away, but Kowicki is coming down the first straightaway and looks like he will put Davey Allison a lap down.
Yes, indeed. Kowicki goes by while Davey Allison tries to build up speed, and so Davey is a lap down.
If the caution flag should come out right now, it'd be the kiss of death for the 28 car.
Of course, 42, Kyle Petty just slowed all of a sudden there.
He just left the pits, and he's having trouble getting up to speed, Ned.
Yeah. So Kowicki will be coming in here before long. Maybe this time around. We'll check and see. Ken Schrader just made, or he's in the pits right now, as a matter of fact, in the Kodiak Chevrolet.
Watching Kowicki there on the left side of your screen to see if he comes in for his stop.
Michael Waltrip is in. So is Bobby Hamilton, Greg Sachs.
Schrader is out. Yep. Dale Earnhardt remains on
Here
pit
comes
road.
Kowicki. Here comes the leader. There you see him diving right in the pits. John Kernan, here he comes.
They're waving the big AK sign on the pit board, so Allen will not overshoot his pits. He comes in. It will be a 4-tire change. Somewhat of a relief for the crew as they were aware of what happened to Davey Allison in that car falling off the jack. We anticipate them making a minor chassis adjustment. The car has been tight on Allen all day long. They work on the right side. So far, so good. Seconds counting down up to about 15 seconds. Now they've got the jack under the left side. No problem so far. 19 seconds, 20, 21, 22. It is full and Allen is away.
24.1 seconds for Alan Kowicki.
And here comes Mark Martin down the front straightaway. He's going to take the lead. The bobbling forward of Mark Martin will take the lead off Alan Kowicki. Now, can Kowicki catch him? That's the next question.
Yeah, well, he'll take the lead once everybody else makes their pit stops. Bill Elliott actually has the lead right now.
That's what I meant. He's going to take the lead over Kowicki.
Yep.
Final pit stops being completed with 30 laps to go now on the Champion Spark Plug 500.
It was 8 o'clock in there, right? Yeah. My truck wouldn't start. And the lights worked, but the engine wouldn't turn over. So I figured it must be the starter, right? Well, I went to AutoZone. They said, let's test it. Turns out it was okay. So we tested my battery and found that it just didn't have enough juice to crank it. Now get this. I didn't have to spend a dime, because they even charged my battery for free. Get out of here. That kind of service? Hey, you just can't beat it.
Racing. I can't explain it. You're kind of in a limbo zone. Time's different, speed's different. Everything works different. It sounds totally cosmic. Believe me. It's out there somewhere.
Kyle Petty and Mellow Yellow. There's nothing mellow about them.
Watch the 24 Hours of Le Mans. You may win a Jaguar XJS convertible. Enter the Bud Light Follow the Leader sweepstakes. Call 1-900-786-2333. 95 cents a minute, 2-minute maximum, must be 21 or over. Entrants will be called at random. The first to name the winning Le Mans race team wins the Jaguar. Everyone called wins a sports bag from Bud Light, America's fastest growing premium light beer. Follow the leader at the 24 Hours of Le Mans on ESPN.
Couple of laps, Darrell Waltrip had the lead, but he's brought the Western Auto Chevrolet in for its final pit stop. And now the lead has been picked up by Jimmy Hensley in the 66 car, but again, he will be needing a pit stop before very long, and we think that Bill Elliott is going to be in the lead when all is said and done. Darrell Waltrip, again, remember now, he lost first gear on that car, and they're pushing him out of the pits.
That's right. He lost first gear. Now he's got it in his second gear, or whatever gear he can get it in to try to get the thing rolling. So he has it going. Here's the lead of the race, Jimmy Hensley in the Phillips 66 car.
As you can see, this is the second time that Jimmy has had the Phillips 66 car in front.
Second time today and the second time this year.
Yep.
And the second place car is Bill Elliott, who stopped
in 2 tires.
Changed right side. What a strategy that Tim Brewer and those guys. And he was able to beat Mark Martin and Alan Kowicki out of the pits. But can it last? Can he stay out there with the left sides more worn than Mark's or Kowicki's?
Well, they picked up about 9 or so seconds on him in the pits, so we'll see.
The crew waits on Jimmy. He's between the second and third turns. We understand that the 66 car is also going to go for just 2 tires. Here he is in turn number 3. And is he coming for the pits? Nope, he's going to stay out for one more lap.
Just hoping for that caution.
This is Jimmy's 6th race for the Yarborough team. Best finish at Dover, where he was 8th. Let's go to Jerry Punch, who has a comment on Mark Martin.
A minute ago, Mark Martin radioed his crew and said, what kind of pit stop did Elliott have? Where'd he come from? And then they explained to him that Elliott only changed right side tires. Said, don't worry about Elliott. With just 2 right side tires, he won't outrun us. We got to be concerned with the 7 car. He's the guy that's going to be awfully tough to beat. So they said, just bide your time. Don't abuse the car. We'll catch Elliott as his tires wear a little more. We'll catch him in the next 10 or 12 laps.
Mark is 3rd at the moment. Hensley is 1st, then Bill Elliott. There is Mark Martin in 3rd position, and not too far behind him is Allen in 4th.
We saw just the nose of that Hooters Ford. There he is.
And here comes Hensley. John Kernan will report on Hensley's pit stop.
Bob Johnson and the crew preparing for Jimmy to come down. As we told you, it will be only a 2-tire change. Remember, they did that earlier in the race. Now, I clocked him, and after he did that, he was running only about 0.3 of a second slower than the cars that had changed for. He keeps the engine gun, 2nd can of fuel going in. The tires are changed. Now they're waiting. Hensley is away. 12.1 seconds, a very fast stop for 2 tires.
Very good pit stop, no doubt about it.
A good stop under the pressure the crew was put under, because they realized that it's up to them to get a good pit stop so we can go out and try to beat some other cars.
Very good point. There's pressure on the driver. There's also pressure on the pit crews in NASCAR Winston Cup competition. Back after this.
If you don't like the looks of your car, shoot it with Son of a Gun from STP. Shoot the dash, seats, tires, and roof. Son of a Gun protecting. Man, what a difference.
Hey, is that what I think it is? Yeah, it's my new Wagner Power Painter. Well, can you edge with it? Yeah, you can edge like this, or adjust it to control the paint up close. And when I'm done, I'm gonna switch nozzles and stain my deck. Do a lot of other jobs I've been meaning to do. Well, does it clean up easy? Yeah, it's quicker than you think.
Why am I painting this by hand?
Good question. Get a Wagner.
All of these championship-winning drivers have one thing in common: Goodyear Racing Eagles. The race-winning technology that's found in the Goodyear Racing Eagles can also be found in the world's best-selling line of high-performance street tires, Goodyear Eagle Street Radials. The champions know, and it's why we say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
Professional service, a friendly face. That's your Big A Pro.
Big A, the sign that keeps your car running right.
Around the world, around the year, with more than 1 million miles of award-winning auto racing coverage. Today, ESPN Speed World is at Pocono International Raceway in the beautiful mountains of northeast Pennsylvania for the Champion Sparkplug 500. And look at the tremendous crowd that's gathered here on this warm and humid Sunday afternoon to see some great racing. We have 23 laps to go in this race. The leader is Bill Elliott. And the 2nd place now belongs to Alan Kowicki, as he was able to pass Mark Martin a lap ago. Right behind Elliott is Kowicki and Martin. And here's how Alan got 2nd spot.
Coming off turn 1, going down the back straightaway, the Long Pond straightaway, gets under Mark Martin and just accelerates right by him. That Hooters Ford is definitely hooked up today.
We are above the track record in terms of speed here this afternoon once again. The average is 142.7 and the record is 142.5. We've been interrupted by only 3 caution periods this afternoon, and the only driver to make contact with the wall was Dale Jarrett, and he is still in the race?
Yeah, he's on pit road right now, but he's running about 24th.
We might mention that Dale Earnhardt has taken his GM Goodwrench Chevy behind the wall again, and it appears to be all over for him this afternoon. However, he did make up about 5 positions. He came back into the race after a lengthy pit stop in 33rd, and he's 28th right now, and Wally Dallenbach Jr. is slow in turn 3.
He made a pit stop just the last lap, and I guess whatever it was, they didn't fix it because he's going back in the pits now. He was running in the 18th position in the Keystone Ford.
Here's a Napa Field summary. Now, when you see Wally Dallenbach come up in the serial scoring here, that's where he was last lap. And, of course, he's on pit road right now, relinquishing the positions. We have 11 cars on the lead lap with now 21 more laps to go.
Wow, that's a bunch of oil out of that car going in the pits. Wasn't it, Dan?
Looked like
yeah, he was leaving a trail.
Yeah, he was. And you wonder if he left some on the racetrack somewhere, but
evidently not, or somebody would have crashed by now. Yeah. Here comes Elliott. There's Kowicki. He's gaining.
Oh yeah, he's gaining, no question about it. He's picking up every lap. Those 2 tires on the Budweiser Ford got him out front for a while, but he really has been, since Kowicki got by Martin, he's been mowing him down.
Closing now within 2 car lengths. Kowicki looking for the lead, but Bill Elliott, who comes into this race 3rd in the point standings, 31 behind Davey Allison. Are you getting nervous with the points battle the way it is?
There's still a lot of the year left. Right now, the biggest thing we need to do is get like we were in the first part of the year. We've run pretty good the last couple of races. We've had a little bit of problem, though, you know, with a few things breaking, going wrong here and there. But that's a part of this business. You know, from this point on, we just need to make it all work for us, you know, and let some of these other guys have a little bit of trouble.
We can see just how much better Kowicki's car is handling, how much better it's gripping through the turns in Elliott's car, because he changed 4 tires and Elliott only changed 2, and there he goes, taking the lead. Between Dave Marcus and Bill Elliott, Alan Kowicki reassumes command of this race on lap number 181. Whoa, Elliott, where'd he come from?
Got a burst of speed down into turn 1, but I believe with those pressure tires that Kowicki will be able to pull away as we head up towards the tunnel turn.
There's Mark Martin, 3rd place, hanging in there. But Elliott has also kind of given Allen a run for his money here, but now Kowicki gets the car completely around the Budweiser Ford. In the tunnel turn, you got to back off for that monster.
Now let's see if Elliott's going to try to dive under him going in 3. No.
I think he's going to try to hold on to 2nd place.
Yeah, that's what he'd like to do.
Well, Kowicki will be given the 5 extra bonus points because he has led the most this afternoon. He's led 43. Mark Martin had led 41. We'll be back with more of the conclusion of the Champion Sparkplug 500.
Most guys kick back on the weekends. Jack, on the other hand, so how do you feel?
Ready to rock and roll.
Only one beer has the taste as genuine as the people who drink it. Budweiser.
Tomorrow,
we're sleeping in. Everyone's flocking to McDonald's to get their flippers on Batman. Now, Batman returns as on a dramatic series of collector cups with flying frisbee bat disc lids straight from the movie. Good. You can get your flippers on a large drink in one of 6 32-ounce collector cups at a special price when you buy any extra value meal, because what you want is what you get at McDonald's today. Gotta fly!
This Father's Day, Sears has some terrific gift ideas. Like this rugged Craftsman 3/8-inch variable speed drill, only $29.99. Make your dad feel special this Father's Day with Craftsman. It's only from Sears.
We hope you're enjoying today's live coverage of NASCAR Winston Cup racing from Pocono International Raceway, the Champion Sparkplug 500. Our Speed World coverage is being brought to you by Quaker State. The Big Q is one tough motor oil. By Smooth Busch Beer and easy drinking Busch Light. And by Payless Shoe Source. Who'd have guessed? Payless. Let's take a look at the top 5 with 16 laps to go. It's Alan Kowicki leading. Bill Elliott running in 2nd position. 3rd is Mark Martin. In 4th position, the pole sitter, Ken Schrader. And 5th is Davey Allison, the current Winston Cup points leader. We'll take another break and be right back with more live action.
We could go on and on without stopping. Convenient non-stop flights daily. Norfolk International Airport. Easier than ever.
School of Hard Knocks. History. The heavyweight champ for 7 straight years was Larry Holmes. Anatomy. The Holmes hammer. The most devastating jab in boxing. Mathematics. Vander Holyfield. Biceps 17 inches. Reach 77 inches. Career wins 27-22 by knockout. School's in session. You got a lot to learn. Live from Caesar's Palace. Budweiser presents Holyfield versus Holmes. Friday, June 19th. Live on pay-per-view.
I say I'm the best thing ever happened to this world. I think God blessed me. I'm the greatest thing ever. I love me. Thank God for Larry Holmes.
We are back at Pocono, and Alan Kowicki slipped a little bit in the tunnel turn, and he's getting passed by both Elliott and Mark Martin. What happened?
He started in on the outside of James Hilton. That's the slower car that you see around the right of the screen. He got in the loose stuff and almost hit the wall and let both those cars go by him.
So Alan Kowicki, who was pulling away and becoming a dominant force in this race, now suddenly drops to third, but hey, this race isn't over yet.
Whoa! He'll come right back up there, and that car is good enough that I think he'll reassume the lead.
And Dale Earnhardt now is officially behind the wall as the GM Goodwrench Chevrolet retires for the day in 28th position. Now, let's take a look at what happened in the tunnel turn last lap when Kowicki got out of shape.
Here he is. He's going down the straightaway. James Hilton is going to be a slower car going in the tunnel corner. Okay? Come on, James. Where are you? Come on. Here Kowicki goes in the corner. Now Hilton is right in front of him. Kowicki has to move up to go by him. He gets in the loose stuff and almost loses. See him get sideways?
Oh, yeah.
Almost got in the fence. And here comes Elliott and Martin. If we'd let it, there goes Elliott. And trust me, Martin's back there.
And he'll come by as well. And that was not James Hilton's fault. He was down on the inside of the racetrack, and Allen just went in there a little too fast, a little too high, lost it. John Kernan.
Well, Ned, Allen has talked with Paul Andrews, and apparently they think maybe James didn't give Allen enough room or whatever the case is, because Paul was not a happy man just a few moments ago. In fact, he went over and talked to the NASCAR official assigned to his pit to complain about that slower lap car not getting out of the way and giving Allen enough room.
Well, Kowicki has yet to reassume the lead as Bill Elliott holds him off.
And he's running out of time. I hate to mention that, guys, but
yeah, there's
13 laps to go.
A little over 12 to go.
Okay, now when he passed Elliott before, he had much fresher tires. Has that sort of equalized now after they've run this period of time? And Allen certainly used up some tires over there when he made that slip.
Good point. Here he comes. Can he get on the inside and go by? Let's see.
That time.
Not going to make a run for it. They run down the straightaway, nose to tail. First, second, and third. 3 Fords, Elliott, Kowicki, Martin.
Well, you know, the Chevrolet, they're General Motors cars, not all Chevrolets, had sort of taken control when Earnhardt won at Charlotte. And then, of course, Gann at Dover, Delaware, and last week Ernie Irvan out of Sears Point. So General Motors cars had won 3 in a row, but now the Fords are coming back, it looks like.
Kowicki still trying to get into first after a problem in turn 2. How do the 3 turns here at Pocono compare with the other tracks, Alan?
These are probably the fastest flat turns that we run on the circuit. There's other racetracks where we run this faster, but the turns are always banked. There's no other place we go to where you enter a turn as flat as this or as tight a radius at the end of this long a straightaway.
189 laps completed, 11 more to go, and Elliott holds on to the lead, looking for his 5th win of the 1992 season.
Elliott got the car a little bit loose that time, but Kowicki had chosen not to pass him on the inside, and while Elliott was chasing the car up the hill, Kowicki could not take advantage because he was following Elliott up there.
They passed Darrell Waltrip going into that turn there. You can see Darrell coming up. Darrell's in 11th place. Now there are only 10 cars on the lead lap. Darrell seems maybe to have lost a cylinder or something. This car was not running very steamy down the straightaway.
Yeah, looks like he's off his limb.
The defending champion of this race in 11th position, Darrell Waltrip. Boy, We're set up for a great finish here.
Here comes Allen on the inside.
Kulwicki may get him going into turn number 3. He has the inside line, and yes, but Elliott battles back on the outside.
Now who's Mark Martin going to pick to help? It's a drafting deal. Who are you going to go?
Oh, and Martin almost loses it coming off the 3rd turn.
I'll tell you, that Budweiser Ford has some power down the straightaway, fellas.
He really does.
Look at it.
What's he going to do? Who's going to win this race in the corner?
Mark don't know who to follow.
Kulwicki will make it to turn 1 first.
I think he'll win the race off the corner. Kulwicki.
Because he's shifting. He's in one-to-one situation. He's got about 200 RPM advantage over that 11 car. Now, here comes the 6. Can he get by the 11?
Mark Martin alongside Elliott headed for the tunnel turn. Yes, he's got 2nd spot.
That's the best thing that could happen to Kulwicki. Them race a little bit back there. That let him pull away and get a little bit of a lead again.
Mark Martin started 4th, has moved to 2nd. And Alan Kulwicki has reassumed command of this event from the 7th starting position. We'll be right back.
You know, I've messed up on a few relationships in my life, but there's one that's lasted over 35 years with a lot of help from Quaker State. It's tough on wear, tough on sludge. So Quaker State and I are planning on a meaningful relationship with my new car. So why don't you do the same with your new car's engine, and Quaker State will guarantee it for 250,000 miles or 10 years in writing. You think if I gave Lonnie the Quaker State deal, she'd give me the same guarantee? Quaker State is one tough motor oil.
Richard Petty, the only driver ever to win 200 Winston Cup races, all on champion spark plugs.
Jerry, your help out here really does make a difference in the way I run.
Well, Richard, this is our testing ground. It makes a difference in the way we build our spark plugs, too.
They work for me in both my cars. Whether I'm racing or going home, I depend on champion spark plugs.
For more racing action, be sure to watch the Champion Spark Plug 400 on August 16th.
One swing. You could win $50,000 in the ESPN Sunday Night Baseball Subway Grand Slam Challenge. Watch for details beginning Sunday, June 14th, here on ESPN.
There are 8 laps to go in the Champion Spark Plug 500, and Alan Kulwicki is in front. Mark Martin is running 2nd, and Bill Elliott is 3rd. Our Western Auto Mechanic of the Race Award goes to Frank Edwards, the chassis specialist for the number 25 pole-sitting car of Ken Schrader.
So all you folks up around South Hill, Virginia, stand up and cheer for Frank Edwards.
I tell you, he's a super nice guy.
And one of the hardest working men in NASCAR racing.
Let me correct something I said just before the break. Alan Kulwicki did not start 7th. He started in 6th position and has the lead. As the race winds down here, we're going to show you another Napa Field summary, where everybody was running last trip around the track.
We saw Davey Allison back in 5th. That pit stop took him out of the race for the lead when the car fell off the jack. Last pit stop.
10 cars still in the lead lap.
Terry Cope has had a good run in 13th position. There is Harry Gant, who you will see show up in 20th position here in a while, and he is very slow on the racetrack. There's Derry Copes. Your later in-car camera.
There's the 66 car, the Phillips 66 car. Jimmy Hensley, great run for him this afternoon. Where's he now, Bob?
He's 9th.
Yep. Still in the lead lap, right?
Yep.
Here it is. We got 10 cars on the lead lap.
Kulwicki has now, as he comes down, 6 more laps to go, but might he have a flat tire, John?
That's what he has radioed in to Paul Andrews. The crew looks him over closely. They're shaking their head. They think it looks all right. Perhaps it's just nerve. Perhaps the car's still just a little bit tight on Allen and not doing what he wants. But they've got 2 tires up on pit wall right now. They've got the air wrenches in their hands, the jacks ready, and the signboard ready, just in case Allen has to duck onto pit road. But right now, he's going to stay out there to see what happens.
Mark Martin is closing in on him. That interval is shrinking between 1st and 2nd.
It sure is. It sure is.
Here are the top 5 in points and where they're running. Allison 5th, Earnhardt out of the race. Will finish in around 28th position. Elliott. Gant is in the pits, although he is listed in 20th position, and of course Kowicki is the leader.
And about to go behind the wall into the garage area, Harry Gant is.
So this will put Earnhardt probably back in 5th place in the Winston Cup point standings.
And 5 more laps to go for Kowicki.
Martin hasn't gained the last lap.
Nope.
Gaining the last lap, so I don't know. Those tires are up.
Yep, those two look okay, the left side.
Tell you what, if I looked at my rearview mirror and saw a car that close, I think something's wrong too. As hard as he's driven all day.
Alan Kowicki, should he win today's race, will register his 5th NASCAR Winston Cup career victory.
And his 2nd of the year, which will almost assure him, when he won his first race at Bristol this year, put him on the winner circle program. And if he wins here today, it'll most likely put him on the winner circle program for 1993.
Now the slow car, that's with Kowicki's nemesis a little bit ago, but this time he's able to get by. Well, he's going by Mike Potter. I thought he was going to catch him back in the corner.
Well, he ran over there and drafted him for just a moment, Benny, just to pick up any little bit that he could get on that straightaway, and then moved around him before he got him.
You'll recall that Kowicki won his first Winston Cup race in his 85th start at Phoenix International Raceway. He was the 86 Winston Cup Rookie of the Year. And as Ned mentioned, he has already won this year on the high banks of Bristol.
Well, that crew's sweating a little bit down there now, and I don't blame you. I tell you, it's nailed back in time.
Let's see if that interval, it's definitely widening now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he's pulling away a little bit now.
Kowicki has a bit of breathing room here over 2nd place Mark Martin.
Kowicki's having trouble getting to that tunnel corner. Still having trouble getting through the tunnel corner. That time there was no one around and he had some problems.
Well, he's only got to do it 3 more times.
Okay.
There's 3rd place Bill Elliott.
I don't think it's going to be over none too soon for Mr. Kowicki.
4th is Schrader and 5th is Davey Allison. Kowicki came into this race 83 points behind in the quest for the Cup. 83 behind Davey Allison in 5th position.
Well, we know that he's already gained 5.
Yep.
That's by leading the most laps. And so that cuts it down to 78. And if they finish where they're at, that's 20 more points. So that would cut him down to 58.
So if all you Hooters restaurants around the country are tuned in now on your TVs watching this, congratulations.
Yeah, let's hear a big cheer from everybody when he crosses the line. He's got 2 more laps to go. He comes off of turn number 3, completing lap number 198. Alan Kowicki headed for victory in the Champion Spark Plug 500.
And Mark Martin is pulled away from Bill Elliott.
There's James Hildy's going by again down in turn 1, but this time he cleared it before he got to the corner.
This is the first time that James Hilton has run until the end of the race in a long time, as far as I can remember. He's in 27th position.
Well, he told me this morning he was going to run it as long as it would hang together. It looks like it's going to hang together.
Mark Martin in 2nd. I think the crew has pretty much decided not to change tires on this car, don't you?
Yeah, I think so. They probably eased up a little bit there. They held their breath.
There he is. He's put the jack down.
Here's another lap car. He's taking it much easier going around this car, fellas.
That's Jerry O'Neill, and here comes from Doyle Ford the white flag for Alan Kowicki. 1 more lap to go on this 2.5-mile tri-oval at Pocono.
There's the 2nd place car, Mark Martin, the guy with the blue hood. Bill Elliott, the boat Ford, still in the picture. So he can't miss a beat. He has to run on 8 cylinders and not have any flat tires if he's going to win this baby.
Yep, it isn't over yet. But he has about a half a lap to go now as Mark Martin continues his pursuit.
Well, they fought back.
Yeah, they have. They got down and they fought back, and they've come as close as they can without winning.
Just looks to me like Kowicki's having all kinds of problems over that front corner here.
Let's see how he negotiates it for the final time this afternoon. The crowd is on its feet at Pocono. Here comes Kowicki off of turn number 4. The hats are waving. Alan Kowicki takes the checkered flag and wins the Champion Spark Plug 500. His second win of 92 and his 5th career victory. And the margin of victory was 2.4 seconds over Mark Martin.
Let's give a round of applause to the crew because they're the guys. He lost 2 race cars in Dover 2 weeks ago, and they fought back in here the Armed Victory Circle. Way to go, guys.
Here's John Kernan.
Paul, you guys did a great job today. You had that big smile this morning in the garage here. I guess a short track car is the way to go here at Pocono.
Well, you know, it's a short track car, but Pocono's a lot like a short track in some ways. It's got a long straightaway, which we've done that transmission, which I made up for that. I mean, it's a good running car. Alan drove a great race yesterday and last practice. The car was running great. You know, all the guys done a super job all day today, and, you know, we deserved this thing, and we ran hard. We ran good all day.
What about the nerves there at the end whenever he radioed in and thought he had a tire going down?
Oh, yeah, that had me worried, and had him worried too, you know, but, you know, he done the right thing by just taking another lap and making sure it was okay.
That's Paul Andrews, winning crew chief for Alan Kowicki and the crew. A happy crew, big smile on their faces, headed up to victory lane.
And our congratulations to Alan and all the Hooters crew for a great run this afternoon. They're the top 5. Back after this.
Racing. I can't explain it. You're kind of in a limbo zone. Time's different, speed's different. Everything works different. It sounds totally cosmic. It's out there somewhere.
Kyle Petty and Mellow Yellow. There's nothing mellow about him.
Selling a house is no vacation, but that's just what the Walkers got when they sold their house with our ERA office. The ERA Seller Security Plan guaranteed that if we didn't sell their house, ERA would buy it. ERA even agreed to take the risk of selling the house at a loss. But when we sold it for more, the Walkers got the profit. They used the extra money to take a vacation. The ERA Seller Security Plan, just the kind of help you'd expect from a friend. Call 1-800-ERA-SOLD. ERA, first in service.
If she had a fever, you wouldn't wait a week to see the doctor. If she were hungry, you wouldn't wait a few days to feed her. So why wait even a day to fix the brakes on the car you drive her around in? At Midas, we don't just fix your brakes right. We can fix them right the very same day you bring in your car. Think about it. Midas, because your brakes can't wait.
Back at Pocono International Raceway in Pennsylvania, where the Champion Spark Plug 500 has been won by Alan Kowicki. And he emerges from his car in victory lane, and the thousands of race fans gathered here stand and applaud and salute him. And our Kodak Gold Winner's Circle interviewer is Jerry Punch.
And in Kodak victory lane, what a pretty picture here. Alan Kowicki and Alan, the crowd was going nuts. A popular win for you. Congratulations.
You know, I had to work for it a little harder than I wanted to there. You know, we just ran a real deliberate race, and I think we had the best car in a long run. And I knew that, you know, Bill tried a little different strategy, and that was his only shot to win. And we were just a little better than him and Mark. And there's one lap car out there gave me a really hard time, almost cost me the race there. And just like I didn't crash, I went out to go around him and got in the marbles a little bit. And, you know, the guys on the crew, Paul just told me, calm down, you'll get them back. There's enough time here. And my crew really did a good job. I'll tell you, this team's really coming on. Paul Andrews and Danny Glad and all the guys in the engine shop, Gary and Ronnie and Randy, all the guys. You know, this car's been finishing every week, and I got to thank my sponsors, Hooters Restaurant, Naturally Fresh Salad Dressings, Classic Mixers, and Ford Motor Company. The tires are really good today. This is, you know, yesterday we practiced 1 second faster than we have ever practiced here before, and they adjusted the stagger a little bit, and didn't have any flats. Tires worked great all day, and I'm looking forward to coming back here again in a month.
Now, a handful of laps to go. We understand you radioed in it. You thought you might have a tire going down.
Well, I hit something in the tunnel turn. I don't know if it was something off another car or a big chunk of asphalt, but I hit it, and the front end just skated towards the wall, and I thought, man, what else is going to happen next here? And I was just scared for a second there, and I just told them to be ready. But I ran another lap, and the car was okay. And as good as we were, we still kept adjusting on it a little bit all day long, and you know, we were really good. Maybe we'll come back here and be just that much better next time, but crew did a great job. We had good pit stops all day. I think I was a little bit conservative getting in and out of the pits after last week. I was a little gun shy about the speed limit. It might have cost me just a little bit of time, but they had good pit stops. I'll tell you, they're doing a great job preparing the car.
Alan Kowicki picks up win number 2 in 1992, gets the lion's share of almost $700,000 in purse money in the Champion Sparkplug 500. Bob?
And he's right. He will have an opportunity to repeat his win here in just a little over a month when the NASCAR Winston Cup Series returns to Pocono for its second race of the year. Back in a moment.
Demonstrate the incredibly realistic color of Kodak Gold Plus film. Just open the box. No other print film captures a wider spectrum of colors at any speed. Kodak Gold Plus film. True colors. More colors.
Out cold and clear. Sit back, relax, and punch your backs, and I'll back you a beer. Sit back and drink and give thanks to Hank, and I'll back you a bud.
Hi. You know why Quaker State asked me to be their spokesman? Because I'm tough. Quaker State is tough. Tough on wear and tough on sludge. You use Quaker State in your new car's engine, they'll guarantee it for 250,000 miles or 10 years in writing. Quaker State is one tough motor oil. So naturally they asked me because I'm tough. You don't think it's because they think I'm oily?
The most grueling test of endurance in all of auto racing. 24 hours of speed and danger at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. See the start Saturday morning live on ESPN.
Beginning Thursday afternoon at 3 Eastern, see all the excitement of the U.S. Open live on ESPN.
And if you have a regular job like me, watch it each night at 7:30 Eastern.
The U.S. Open, Thursday and Friday live on ESPN.
We're back at Pocono International Raceway where the Champion Sparkplug 500 has been completed. Alan Kowicki was the winner. Mark Martin finishing second and Bill Elliott third. Here's John Kernan.
Well, for the second week in a row, we're down here in the garage area talking to Mark after a race. Mark gave it a great shot. You guys came back today. Just an amazing effort. How did you do it?
I don't know. We ran really hard. We got the cautions when we needed them. We had we had several 19-second pit stops in the second half of the race. I don't think we've done that all year, so the guys really got it together after halfway, and we were just stomping hard as we could stomp.
What did Steve Neal tell you after you drug him down the pit road a little bit?
Nothing. Come back.
Come back. Okay, Bill Elliott has also made his way down to the garage area. Bill, you guys kind of made a daring move there, team. When everyone else took on 4 tires, you took on only 2, and it really helped you gain some track position.
Well, you know, Tam said, what do you want to do? And I said, whatever, just go for it. Because, you know, we were in a possession. We didn't have nothing to lose. And the Budweiser Ford ran good, and I was just, shoot, I'm taking over there for what to come back.
That's Bill Elliott. We're going to let him go sit in his truck. Jerry says that he's very tired and like to sit down. I understand you caught up with Davey Allison.
Yes, we have caught up with our point leader, and what a day, Davey. I mean, the gremlins came out early. People were thinking you might have a transmission problem. First of all, it flew out of gear, right?
Well, we did. We had some trouble with the thing kicking out of high gear, and it did it once going into turn 2 and did it again over here going into turn 1 when Alan was right behind me one time. So even though I had a bungee cord in the car, I had to be real careful, and I had to hold it in gear when I'd roll off the throttle just to make sure. So I drove most of the race with one hand. But, you know, overall, it was a good day. We lost a little time when the car fell off the jack in the pits on that last stop. And that was a tough break for us, but we're happy. We're back in form the way we ought to be running. We're racing. We got a new car. It's a good car, and we're looking forward to going to Michigan next week.
The current Winston Cup points leader still atop the points, Davey Allison.
And the fans continue to hang around and celebrate the great racing that we have seen here this afternoon with Alan Kulwicki, the winner of the Champion Sparkplug 500. We'll be right back.
What does it take to be a mountain man? Let's see. A mountain man must be fearless, sure-footed, willing to answer the call of the wild. But most of all, a mountain man should be thirsty for a smooth bush beer or an easy drinking bush light. So, head for the mountains and see if you have what it takes to be a real mountain man.
You say your eyes are red, irritated, dry? Don't hide them. Help them with Clear Eyes. It gets rid of the redness and has an extra moisturizing ingredient too. Clear Eyes. And for allergies and colds, Clear Eyes ACR.
Sears is the place for great Father's Day gift ideas. Save now on this Craftsman half-horsepower garage door opener. Only $139.99. And that includes 2 3-function transmitters. It's a great idea for Father's Day from Sears.
Dear Wendy, summer vacation, week 2. I'm having a great time taking a lot of photos. I went to Dolphin World with some new friends. Afterwards, everyone was hungry. Luckily, there was a Wendy's nearby. We had junior bacon cheeseburgers, biggie fries, Frosties, and biggie drinks. I treated, because everything on the super value menu is just 99 cents each. And Miss Smarty, I finally broke 100. Love, Dad.
Hey, mister, that's my ball.
Oh, sorry.
Wendy's super value menu, the best place to spend your summer.
The race was run in a new track record, 144.039 miles an hour. We were only interrupted 3 times by caution flags. Now, John Kernan is with a guy that's got to be really happy about today's performance, Jimmy Hensley.
Yeah, Bob, Jimmy is very, very happy after a 9th place performance. First time here on the big track. Did you surprise yourself with the way you were able to drive out there and keep up with the big guns?
Well, I thought yesterday in practice, you know, we ran pretty decent, and Bob Johnson had the car set up good today, and the crew just did a super job. It was just a good day for the Phillips Trop Arctic 664. The team, and they did super, and you know, halfway did my job, and we come up with a top 10 finish. So, you know, that's what we're looking for, just run good and be consistent, getting top 10, 12 cars, and you know, one of these days we'll just move up a little more. So that's how we're looking at it.
There's Jimmy Hensley, who told me yesterday that he feels now like a Winston Cup driver. He doesn't feel so much like a Busch Grand National driver on the Winston Cup circuit. Jerry Punch is across the garage area with Ken Schrader.
Actually, we're with Kenny and Dorothy Schrader. That's Dorothy in the middle and Kenny on the right of your screen. Kenny, an example of courage today. I know you're pretty uncomfortable right now, but congratulations. The only Chevrolet in the top 10.
Yeah, but we was fourth. The only problem with that. I guess we was first in class, but we're going to have to go to shift, and the 7, the 6, and 28. 28 had a little trouble there, but they were top 3, and they were all shifting. Bill and I were about the same, and he got us on a pit stop, a 2-tire deal, and going to have to shift to win this race in July.
Now, surgery after Michigan next week. Will you be in Daytona July 4th?
Yeah, we won't have any problem there. We'll be ready to go.
Kenny Schrader, a gallon effort today. The Kodiak Chevrolet finishing 4th, and all day long, folks, he was hurting, but he didn't miss a beat.
Great run by Ken Schrader. We're going to be on until 4:30 Eastern Time, ladies and gentlemen, so stay tuned. We'll have the complete field rundown and show you how the Winston Cup points stack out after this race.
You know, I've messed up on a few relationships in my life, but there's one that's lasted over 35 years with a lot of help from Quaker State. It's tough on wear, tough on sludge. So Quaker State and I are planning on a meaningful relationship with my new car. So why don't you do the same with your new car's engine, and Quaker State will guarantee it for 250,000 miles or 10 years in writing. You think if I gave Lonnie the Quaker State deal, she'd give me the same guarantee? Quaker State is one tough motor oil.
There's a storm brewing on ESPN. Saturday Night Thunder. ESPN Speed Week rolls in to start off a night of lightning quick action. Then it's the radical and the ruthless. And the rumble-tumble excitement of live USAC midgets and sprints. Saturday Night Thunder strikes again on ESPN.
Well, here's the complete unofficial field rundown for you. Kulwicki was the winner. Mark Martin finishing 2nd. Bill Elliott was 3rd. The pole sitter Ken Schrader finished 4th, and Davey Allison was in 5th position.
Kyle Petty back in 6th. Sterling Marlin, good run for him in 7th. Brett Bodine and Jimmy Hensley. Can't say enough about Hensley. Terry Labonte in 10th.
Of course, those 10 cars in the lead lap, 11th through 15th. Greg Sachs, Derek Cope, Darrell Waltrip dropped off the pace there near the end. Jeff Bodine coming home 14th, and Michael Waltrip in the 15th position.
Richard Petty, the king, was 16th, followed by Hamilton, Marcus, Ernie Irvin, who was an early leader, and Mike Potter finishing 20th.
Irvin had all kind of problems, as did Rusty Wallace and Dale Jarrett, 22nd, 24th, and Morgan Shepard, outside pole sitter, back in 25th.
And 26th through 30th, James Hilton, Wally Dallenbach, Dale Earnhardt, Dick Trickle, and Rick Mast.
So we see Earnhardt picked up 5 spots by going back on the racetrack.
Yep, it paid off for him. He picked up a few more points by doing so.
Hut Strickland, bad day for him, and Ricky Rudd, bad day for Ricky.
Now let's take a look at the point standings. As we enter race number 14 of the season, Davey Allison remains on top. Elliott is 2nd. Kowicki moves from 5th to 3rd in the point standings today. Harry Gant will stay in 4th, and Dale Earnhardt falls from 2nd to 5th. And so a completely new complexion on the point standings. There's 6 through 10. Terry Labonte is 6th. Then Mark Martin, Morgan Shepard, Jeff Bodine, and Ernie Irvin, and Jerry Punch is with Labonte.
Well, a great season in 1992 continues for Terry Labonte in the Sunoco efforts. Terry, a top 10 finish today.
Well, I tell you, yesterday we kind of knew we were in trouble, but our Sunoco team hung in there today. We knew we were off a little bit, but we just got all we could get. So we finished 10th. We'll just try to be better next time we come back here.
Remind you that championship season back in the early 80s, you just keep plugging away, getting those good finishes?
Well, you know, really, this was, I think, the first bad race that we've really had in a long time. So, yeah, it does a little bit in a way.
This Billy Hagan team, don't count them out, folks. Labonte can make that charge late in the year and be a factor for the championship. Bob?
Terry Labonte finishing in 10th position and 6th in the point standings. And we will be back to wrap it up here at Pocono in just a moment. Alan Kowicki wins the Champion Spark Plug 500.
My wife sent me to Payless for some shoes. I didn't even know Payless had men's shoes. Well, right away I like the place. It's because there's no salespeople breathing down your neck. And they got all the shoes out. So you don't have to keep saying, you got this in a 10? Have you got this in a 10? For once, I get a pair of shoes I like with no hassle. You ought to call it painless.
Right now at Payless, these men's shoes are on sale starting at $12.99. 2 pair just $24. For shoe shopping that's painless, who'd have guessed? Payless.
What does it take to be a mountain man? Do you need a big horse? Do you need a deep tan? Do you have to have a saddle? Do you have to have the gear? Well, the simple truth is you just gotta have the beer.
Bush beer, an easy drinking Bush Light. Have you got what it takes to be a mountain man?
What does it take to live a mountain man's life? Get smooth Bush beer is a drinking Bush Light.
The time has finally come for the cordless power roller from Wagner. Now you control the flow of paint. So the Wagner power roller can cut jobs in half. Smoothly and evenly, it can cover areas twice as fast. And cleanup is a snap. So you can finish one job and do another. Get your hands on a real value, because the value of Wagner keeps on rolling.
Huge crowd here at Pocono begins to file out now. They've seen some great racing this afternoon, and they've seen another victory by Alan Kowicki. And John Kernan is with Kyle Petty, who finished 6th.
Well, Kyle was wanting to change his uniform, but I made him put it back on. Kyle, a great effort for you guys today.
Yeah, you know, I tell you, I can't say enough about the Mella Yala Pontiac team. You know, we run really good all day. We run good from the beginning. I got in the wrong lane on the first lap and lost 4 or 5 positions, but John Wilson built a strong motor, and Robin and those guys had a setup that was just really, really good, so it worked good for us today.
Now, on the more serious side, Benny would like to know when you're going to get a haircut.
Last time I got a haircut, and I don't care who knows it, I'll tell everybody out there, last time I got a haircut, I went to Talladega and broke my leg, and I missed 12 or 13 races, so I'm not getting a haircut. In 3 years, you'll come back here, and I'm going to have it braided and right down around my belt line somewhere.
Sounds like a good enough reason to me. Bob?
Congratulations to Kyle Petty for his 6th place finish this afternoon.
He told me that story down in Charlotte. I didn't think he would have guts enough to tell it on TV, but I underestimated Kyle Petty once again.
That's right. Well, coming up tonight here on ESPN at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, Sunday Night Baseball featuring a National League West confrontation between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Cincinnati Reds. That's at 8 o'clock tonight.
Have you checked those Braves lately? Man, they're coming.
The Reds are in charge. The Grand Prix of Canada is at midnight tonight Eastern Time as Nigel Mansell goes for another win, but Ayrton Senna looking for his second in a row after his victory at Monaco. Our next Winston Cup telecast will be at Daytona for the Pepsi 400 on July the 4th with a live Richard Petty special at 10:30 in the morning with the race beginning at 11 o'clock. We hope you can join us for that. Here's Jerry Punch with Sterling Marlin.
Well, from 19 starting spot all the way to a top 10 finish, Sterling, pretty good afternoon for you.
Yeah, it was. The Max Class 4 run good. Was real good early, and we got a little tight and loosened it up and got a little too loose and got it back too tight again. And the crew done an excellent job, and you know, boys built a sure enough stunt puller motor in that thing. It'll really run. And the car drove good early. We just got too tight and too loose. And you know, we're enthused. We had a little tough luck on and off all year, and maybe this gets turned around.
I think there'll be more shifting when they come back next month. I mean, Kowicki shifted everyone said they just couldn't stay with him.
Well, I don't know. You know, me and Mark run together there a little while, and we had on the same tires, and we was pretty much even. And you know, he shifted and I didn't, and I don't know. It's you know, some of them took them out this morning, some put them in, so we'll see when we come back.
I'm sure there'll be some rethinking of the strategy next month when they come back to Pocono International Raceway. Sterling Marlin, a very competitive 7th place finish today.
And we will be back here at Pocono in just a little more than a month, and let's hope the race is as exciting then as it was today.
Well, it certainly was an interesting race all the way through, Bob, and we look forward to the next one.
And I want to see Sterling Marlin, that stunt pulling motor, when we come back here in July. You heard him say it's a stunt pulling motor he had today?
That's right. Alan Kowicki has won this race here this afternoon at Pocono International Raceway. And again, our next Winston Cup telecast will be on Saturday morning, July 4th, for the Pepsi 400 from Daytona International Speedway. My thanks to Ned Jarrett, Benny Parsons, John Kernan, and Jerry Punch for their help for the telecast this afternoon. We'll see you next Saturday night on Speed Week at 7:30. For now, this is Bob Jenkins with congratulations to Alan Kowicki. Thanks for joining us. So long, everyone.